In this series, we're going to explain what a fix is, what a course line is, how to take a fix, various methods of taking a fix, how to use an estimated position and dead reckoning, or determining where you'll be in a little while or where you are when you can't take a fix. We'll determine our set and drift from tide, wind, and currents, and how to utilize that to stay on course. We'll put everything together in the end and do an example Gulf Stream crossing from Florida to the Bahamas. Let's get started. Part 4, our example Gulf Stream crossing. We leave Lauderdale around 7 in the morning and we get out past the sea buoy, the safe water mark at 8 o'clock, and we take our first official fix. 260500 north, 08021 west at 8 o'clock in the morning. Our ship speed is 10 knots and our heading is 119 true. So this is our construction line. This is the course we're hoping to take. We know we're doing 10 knots. We're going to use our dividers on our latitude, never longitude, to measure 10 minutes, which is the equivalent of 10 nautical miles. Since we're going 10 knots, we know that every hour we're going to have an approximate distance covered of 10 nautical miles, so we're going to mark these as DR positions. 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, 11, 12, and finally the last one looks like to be about halfway, 5 nautical miles at 12:30, which puts us just outside of South Bimini. So this is the course we'd like to take, and the times we'd like to reach these DR positions. 9 o'clock rolls around, we take our first offshore fix, and we end up with 26 degrees 0115 north, 081030 west longitude. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, our speed is still 10 knots, and our heading is 119 degrees true, but our actual course made good? Well, that looks to be about 112 degrees too. That's a little bit of a problem as we're starting to get pushed north as we expected because we're coming in close to the middle of the Gulf Stream where we should see about a 3-knot drift. In order to compensate so we don't continue north, we want to determine what our set and drift actually is. Draw a parallel line between our DR position and our new current position at 9 o'clock, and we draw that line on our compass rose as our set line. We don't want to overshoot, and we know that as we leave the center of the Gulf Stream and start heading further east, the speed of the stream will slow down. So we're going to do an estimate that around 11 o'clock we should have fairly minimal current. So we're not going to plan this to be at 12:30 fix. We're going to plan this to end up at 11 o'clock back on our original DR position and original DR course. So we draw that line and then we check to see what that is, and it turns out to be 122 degrees true. So that's the course we want to take to end up at 11 o'clock back on our course at our DR position. So we draw that on our compass rose, 122 degrees true. We know our set is 1.5 knots and our speed is 10 knots. So the next thing we're going to do is mark our drift at 1.5 knots. We're going to take our dividers. We're going to measure 10 nautical miles on our latitude, which is 10 minutes. We're going to take one side of our compass, which is set for 10 nautical miles, which is our speed, 10 knots, and we're going to put it on that drift point that intersects our set line. The other point on our dividers is going to be swung around until it exactly touches our 122 degree true course line. The distance between those 2 points is 10 nautical miles. Then we can take our parallel rule and we can parallel down to the center of our compass rose and draw a line. That is our course to steer. That's the course we have to steer to compensate for the Gulf Stream over the next 2 hours. So our course to steer, 129 degrees true. That should put us on an actual course of 122 degrees true. So we'll be steering what will appear to be a little bit of a crab walk south, but we'll end up on that line at 11 o'clock at our DR position. So an hour goes by, it's 10 o'clock, let's take another fix. Our fix now is still a little bit north of our line, but we're doing good. We're aiming for where we should be aiming for. We are on our 122 degree true course that we should be because we are currently steering 129 degrees 2, and our position puts us at 25.56 north, 0801230 west. Our speed is 10 knots. Our course to steer is still 129 degrees. Our course made good is exactly what we wanted, 122 degrees true. So our adjustments for the Gulf Stream seem to be working. We'll go another hour, and at 11 o'clock, we'll take another fix. 11 o'clock rolls around, we take the fix, and it looks like we are right back on course and on time and on our expected DR position of 25.50.30 north, 79.51.30 west, 11 o'clock, speed of 10 knots. Our heading was 129 true. and we're back on our original course. At this point, because we know the Gulf Stream is pretty mild here, there's not a lot of push north, we want to change back to our original 119 degree heading, which we'll do. At noon, we'll take another fix. 12 noon, 25, 45, 15, 079, 41, 30 west. 12 o'clock noon, speed 10 knots, heading of 119 true. And we're actually a little bit ahead, so we might have gotten a little push from that peak tide around noon. We'll take our final fix at 12:30, putting us just a little bit south and ahead of our dead reckoning. Again, probably because of our tidal push. And we have 25, 42, 45 north, 079, 36, 45 west at 12:30, our speed of 10 knots and our current heading of 119. Puts us right at the mouth of the entrance to South Bimini. We have found our set and drift as it began to happen. We're able to compensate properly for it and keep us on track so we don't end up far north of where we expected to. And this is how you do basic plotting. Using dead reckoning, using fixes, using construction lines, using course lines, latitude, longitude, compass, set and drift adjustments, course dist here versus course made good, and speed made good.